Well, we did it!
Yo, Adrian! I did it!
Oh yeah, we hit 1,000 subscribers yesterday morning, and I want to thank each and every one of you that have watched, subscribed, and commented on our videos these last 8 months. We do this for fun, and we do this for you. This is an amazing comic book, statue, action figure, and Funko Pop community, and I am honored to be a part of it. So let's get started. Today is Thursday, August 1st. I'm JB, and welcome to another edition of What's On Today with Discovery Bay, home of the YouTube Comic Book Community Channel Guide. This is the show where I'm going to share some of my top picks from the sea of comic content that was released yesterday. Then I'm going to run down a lineup of content creators that are either releasing, premiering, or going live. Now, halfway through that lineup, we're going to pause for a segment titled the Instagram Tag of the Day. And then finally, to end today's show, I'm going to grab a random package from that crazy, stupid pile of comics I still have left to open in a segment titled What's in the Box Already? So, let's get started with a quick recap of yesterday's highlights. There are links to these channels in the description below. These channels have been discovered. So the first item on the recap actually comes from Tuesday, and it was in yesterday's episode, which I never aired. And that's a long story, and we're not going to get into that one. Anyway, check out the replay from Matt over at the Boy Who Had 7 Talks Comic Books channel. He went live Tuesday night with a stream titled 1,000 Subscriber Giveaway Party with special guests. Let's take a look.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us tonight. I finally hit 1,000 subscribers, and tonight is all about you guys. I want to give back to the community, say thank you times 1,000 because I love you 3,000, and I got some cool prizes going on. So before we get there, though, I've got the most epic all-star lineup ever, guys. I'm sitting here looking at the screen, seeing all my good friends here, and I'm so excited about the party that we're about to have. So hello to everybody in the chat. We're going to run through, and
I was absolutely honored to be invited on this panel, and the stories that were shared that night were just awesome. Now, if you want to see the rest of this stream and more great content from Matt over at the Boy Who Had 7 Talks Comic Books channel, click the link right here. Okay, now before I move on to the next item, I did want to mention that I kind of want to copy what Matt did, for my 1,000. But I want to add a little bit more twist, and I just need a little bit more time to get that all together. And stay tuned, because I'm definitely going to give away a bunch of stuff, man. Comics, pops, action figures, you name it, it's going to be a blast. Stay tuned for that. Alright, well, the next item on the recap comes from the R. Wheatley 0206 channel. He released the first video in a new series titled Weekly Comic Book Artist Spotlight #1. Let's check it out.
Hello YouTube, this is R. Wheatley 0206, and welcome to a new series that I'm starting today, which this is Tuesday, but I'm going to be putting this up on Wednesdays every week, Wednesday evenings. This new series is called Weekly Comic Book Artist Spotlight, and we're going to start the series with an artist that he's not been around for a long time, but he is very popular right now, and his name is Stanley Lau, and his pen name is Art Germ, so you may know him mostly as Art Germ.
Now, I'm digging it. He started with some background info and then went into showing off his personal collection. It was really cool. To see the entire video and more great content from R. Wheatley 0206 channel, click the link right here. Alright, for the final item on the recap today, I've always had a hard time explaining what this channel does, so I figured I might as well show you. So head over to the Aggressively Relaxing channel and check out a video they released yesterday titled This Week in Marvel Comics Radio Parody #58. Let's take a peek.
MCH, kick in MCH. MCH, kick in MCH.
This is Barney Fly with Barney in the Sky, coming to you live with your afternoon traffic report. Things are moving along nicely here. I'm looking at the talk of the town, this building that's covered in mutant flowers, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. It looks gross and it freaks me out. And co-pilot Bob is freaked out as well. I also don't care about their drugs. I'm a New York City chopper traffic reporter.
Now, if you're reading Marvel Comics, this totally makes sense, and it's freaking hilarious. Now, Bob Bueller and I have done guest voices for this series, and I think it's just plain fun. To see the entire video and more great content from the Aggressively Relaxing channel, which by the way, that's an amazing handle, click the link right here. Alright, now let's get to today's lineup and find out what's on today with Discovery Bay. All of these times are listed in both Pacific Standard Time and Eastern Standard Time, and there are video and channel links with timestamps in the description below. Today there are 12 content creators in the lineup, and 7 of them are still going live. So, first up, at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern, over at the Batman Statue Collector channel, Brian released the next video in his statue preview series titled Statue Preview Scarecrow Premium Format by Sideshow Collectibles. At 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, we have a new channel for me anyway. Head over to the Comic Book Dad channel as Josh and Andrew gave us the next edition in their video series titled Episode 7, The Big Show, 7/31/19, Powers of X and Batman New Comics. Alright, at 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 p.m. Eastern, Khalil Hill and the boys over at the Oblivion Bar channel give us a video titled Superman's Final Days, All-Star Superman Part 1. Now, if you haven't seen any of the content coming from this channel, you're missing out. Check them out at the links below. Alright, at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, over at the Comic Jabroni channel, Evan is going live with a stream titled New Comic Book Day Pickups and Reviews for the 31st of July 2019. Alright, at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, over at the Comics with Bueller channel, Travis is releasing the first episode in a brand new series titled What Are Comics Worth? eBay versus Overstreet. Let's have Bueller tell us about it.
I also want to announce that there is a brand new video series I'm releasing this week. It'll be out on Thursday. It's called What Are Your Comics Worth? It is eBay versus Overstreet, and I'm telling you, it's fun, it's interactive. I think you're really going to enjoy it. There's 20 random comics. We compare the prices on eBay to the prices in Overstreet, and you can guess which one is more or which one is less. But it's cool, and I was monkeying around with some of the video earlier today, and I think you're really going to like this series. It's a lot of fun.
Alright, next up at 3:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, over at the Burke Family 54 Comics channel, Steve is going live with a stream titled, I'm not sure what it's titled, but I think he's doing an interview of like somebody in the community who just hit 1,000 subscribers. Hey, that's me! Yeah, that's right. At 3:30 p.m. Pacific, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, head on over to the Burke Family 54 Comics channel as Steve's going to interview me, and it's going to be fun. We're going to talk about comics, we're going to talk about The Boys on Amazon Prime, we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. I look forward to it, and I hope you can join us. Alright, well this is the halfway point in the lineup, and it's time for a new segment titled the Instagram Tag of the Day. Now before I get to today's tag, I want to get a chance to share yesterday's tag from that episode that I never released. Yesterday's tag came from Daniel Arzola, who tagged me for Wolverine Wednesday, and he came with a Powers of X #1 variant. Now I decided for Wolverine Wednesday to post my Marvel Comics Presents issue number 72, and I tagged Barbarian Kung Fu, Mr. Garrel, Big Will, and Delphia Spark. Okay, so for today's Instagram tag of the day, today's tag comes from Matt at The Boy Who Had 7 Talks Comics. And he tagged me this morning for Thor's Day and Thor Thursday and came with a Thor number 337, first appearance of Beta Ray Bill in 9.8, of course. Now, in turn, I posted this. My Thor number 128 from May of 1966, and I tagged Caleb the Comics Murph Murphy, Nervasa 420, Comically Flawed, and JD Comics. Alright, now that was fun. Let's get back to the lineup. Next up at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, over at the Comic Spectre channel, Israel is going live with a stream titled My Picks for New Comics Releasing August 7th, 2019. So let's join Israel in the live chat as he goes over the books he's collecting, his personal picks, and some hot covers. Alright, also at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, over at the Conquistadorks channel, Javi is going live with a stream titled OPRAH Boys Book Club, The Punisher. Welcome back, Frank, issues 1 through 3. So let's join Javi, Chad of 90MF Comics, and Mr. D-Hyde for this premiere episode where the boys come together to hang out and do an in-depth talk on the Marvel Knights Punisher series, Welcome Back, Frank, by the creative team of writer Garth Ennis, artist Steve Dillon, and inker Jimmy Palmiotti. I'm probably butchering your name, and I apologize for that. Alright, at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, over at the JLS Comics channel, we should be getting the next installment in their weekly live stream titled Comic Conversation. So let's join Jesse as he hosts guests Edwin of Strictly Comics, Justin of Exile State Comics, and Boston Chris in the live chat. Alright, next up at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, join Jack, aka Mr. Bolo, and Brian of Simple Man's Comics each Thursday night as they discuss the week's hottest comic book releases and recap the comicbookinvest.com Bolo Be on the Lookout list. Alright, at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, over at the Economics and Comics channel, Billy is going live with a stream titled Comic Book Reading Club, Hulk vs. Thing Fight, Fantastic Four number 12, Reading Comics is Sick. Alright, the last item on the lineup in the last live show that I know about starts at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, over at the Comic Core channel. They're going live with the next episode of the Outside the Issues show. Today's live stream is titled Outside the Issues. So let's join Comic Core Chad with Cat Ren Figures and Mark as they host special guests, I don't know, and they break down the latest from the DC streaming service. Alright, well that's it for today's lineup. Now for the new segment titled What's in the Box Already? And I'm grabbing the one off the top. It's from a Patrick Tuller in St. Louis, Missouri. Let's see what I'm getting from St. Louis, Missouri. Fantastic Four number 81. As I'm continually hoarding 0 to 100, looking for the better copies. Man, this one's actually a really nice copy. Excellent, excellent. Fantastic Four number 81. Alright, now before I close, I wanted to take a moment to welcome the channel's newest Patreon supporter, Comic Books NYC. Thank you so much, Kavi, for believing in our vision enough to support us on Patreon. Alright, well that was fun. Thank you for taking the time to watch me and our channel today. Please visit me on Facebook and Instagram where I'll be posting this schedule with any ads and or changes this afternoon. We also have a Patreon page if you're interested in supporting the channel for as little as $1 a month. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. If you know of anyone who may be interested in this information or may want to be included in the show, please share this with them. Also, drop me a comment below on how we can improve the show or if there's a channel out there I should be watching. Now, if you're not already a subscriber, think about subscribing so you don't miss any of this great new content. Who knows? You may find your new favorite channel today. And as always, don't forget, we had a good time. See everybody later in the chat.